Hello YouTube, this is, it's been a long time since I've posted a video. This is about Photon Shockwave, and having been a long time, I haven't thought about starting another archetype. Instead I wanted to focus on Rescue Rabbit. And, well, Rescue Rabbit basically gets two normal monsters out, and of course with some restrictions of same level, since it is supposed to have the same name. Well, your options go to Gene Warped Werewolf or Sabersaurus. Gene Warped Werewolf can help you get Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, but I'm not trying to go to that. I don't want to play Photon or Evaldo. Try something new. And I'm not sure if this deck is completely original. I did think of it myself, and if it's not the first, I'm sorry for those out there who are probably going to complain. Probably I was just late. Anyways, yeah, so this is what you want. But you're forgetting that one's not enough. So, including Sabersaurus, you might want to add in Tornado Rex. This card's extremely old. I'm putting it for the fact that it's one of the original dinosaurs Rex Raptor used in. And lacking behind that water type dinosaur, I'm not sure its name, Cabosaur, I'm not sure. It's only lacking 100 attack, so I'm fine with it. It's not too much of a disadvantage. Moving on, dinosaurs, wow, they haven't been active since a long time ago. Well, if you don't include Jirax, which were basically a DT only archetype. Yeah, it's a time to bring them back, and I have included some old faces. Now, Destroyosaurus for the attack boost. As you can see, I'm using modest attacks, modest dinosaurs. In case you've forgotten, Destroyosaurus allows you to. No, you discard Destroyosaurus and you get to search Jurassic World, which basically adds 300 attack and defense. Yeah, you can boost that up, and Sabersaurus can become a deadly weapon. If you picture this, you clear the field. This has happened actually. I've tested it and it worked. Clearing the field, you get Rescue Rabbit out, get two Sabersauruses. They have a combined attack of 3,800 with the field card 4,400. It is a lot. Yeah, it basically takes more than half of your opponent's life points. Afterwards, you get to exit summon for Volkaiser. Speaking of which, I don't know if you guys seen the card yet, but if you can't see it on this camera, but up close, the images of this new archetype are very interesting. The picture is actually consisting of lines of ones and zeros, the binary code. I like the artwork. It's very cool. That's almost it for the monsters, but I'm saving one for later. There's also the fact that you have to search for a Rescue Rabbit, so briefly I'll just say Sangan's your best option. So your opponent has to get through this if it's on the field to get to you. So yeah, they have no choice but to let you search for a Rescue Rabbit. Moving on, dinosaurs. High attack. What do you want to do? Destroy stuff. Well, you can't do it properly without Shriek. This probably the card I would associate dinosaurs with. It is like, it just allows you to take away large monsters which potentially defeat your Evolkizer Regea, and you wouldn't want that, so it's one of the few cards in this deck that can actually stop a high attack monster. But don't worry, you'll stop the monster from coming out before it actually does so. Some staples what I would like to focus on is Giant Trunade. Giant Trunade will help you clear the way for Evolkizer. What I would like to talk about is this typically unused card, Nobleman of Crossout. With the load of firepower you're putting into this deck, your opponent will, in the end, go to defense, and what you need is this. This works late game and early game. Your opponent may normally play defense at the beginning by setting a monster. If it's a flip monster, then you get a bonus. Well, yeah, your opponent won't expect it since, yeah, it's a unused card. And moving on, we have normal monsters in this deck, and the obvious disadvantage is that it does not have an effect. So we have to give our deck, our monsters, an advantage again by putting in Heat Wave. What better than to stop your opponent from summoning while you can? They might end up setting their monster, and in turn, you can play Nobleman of Crossout. So yeah, you leave this on the field, after playing that of course. Next turn, you get immediately Exceed Summon for Evolkizer Regea. I've put 2 Heat Waves in my deck. So yeah, some staples. Basic stuff here. Didn't put in Mirror Force. Got Dimension Prison. Dimension Prison is more of a control type, which fits the theme of this deck. You want to control what's going into their graves, what's coming out of their graves, what's going to go on the field, what magic or spell or traps they're going to play. Sorry, not magic. Yeah, and I have talked about counter traps, if you recall. Counter traps I'm interested in Magic Drain for spell cards. They want to play. If they want to continue playing the card, they have to discard a spell card in their hand, and that is big-handed disadvantage. 7 Tools of the Bandit, typical defense against traps, and Solemn Warning. It's now a very rare card here in OCG, but it's not that expensive yet. And Solemn Judgment, of course. So yeah, ironically here, it's called the Solemn Judgment Dragon. Yeah, nothing else to say about that. So these Solemn Warnings are here to stop summoning, so you don't waste the effect of Evolkizer. Yeah, basically all of these counter traps are meant to stop your opponent without wasting his effect. You want to save his effect until it's crucial, and you'd think that 6 counter traps isn't enough, but seriously, this guy is unbeatable with at least 2 of them on the field. Or actually 2 traps on the field is enough. 1 counter trap and 1 Bottomless or Dimension Prison is enough to stop them. By the way, this deck has many quick play spells as well, Shrink and Book of Moon. So I've gone through the deck. The deck does work. I do not guarantee that it can defeat high tier decks, but mid tier, no problem if you know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh. Having gone through all this, I have forgotten to mention 1 monster, and if you notice, I've been able to negate the summons, spells and traps. But what about monster effects? What if the monster is already on the field? Well, you wouldn't want to put Divine Wrath. It just wastes your hand, and you need your hand in this deck. You need to collect dinosaurs in your hand. So I added effect failures. It's a way of cheating your opponent. Your opponent won't know what hit him, because no one can guess that you have it in your hand. That's basically it. This deck is a 4-3 card deck. I will try to improve it, maybe minimize it, and yeah, that's about it. The only other card I bought was Fragment of Greed. Fragment of Greed is very useful card. It's basically something that your opponent might want to destroy by MST, but they want to save it for something else. This only needs to last for 2 turns on the field. Easy stuff. Easy 2 cards. I don't know why it's rare and the price hasn't risen. I guess people don't agree with what I'm thinking. The deck is, this card is actually very useful. Another useful card would be, let me try searching that up. Yeah, another expensive card is Extra Gate. Prepare yourselves, TCG players. Extra Gate will probably be secret rare. If you don't want to search it yourself, basically you can choose one level and your opponent removes it from play in their deck. Removes a monster, that is, and well, if you know your opponent's deck well, and they've already played some of the copies of that monster, you can kill them by removing their last one. I don't know, you can actually play all, like, if you have 3 in your deck, you play 2, that's enough to kill them. But then again, it's a situational card. If you don't know your opponent's deck, then, I don't know. Good luck. Yeah. Well, that is Photon Shockwave for you. I will be posting maybe a duel sometime soon. And by the way, new sleeves. It comes in white and blue. Yeah, quite awesome. See you later, YouTube.